In this video, I will show you where to find the most important information in your syllabus so you know exactly where to find it and what to take note of. At the top, you'll always see your professor's contact information and the course description. If you ever need to ask questions, ask for an extension, or just want to connect with your professor, which I recommend doing early in the semester, you will find their email and sometimes a phone number here. You can also see when their office hours are and usually find the link to join that office hours. And you'll also see if you need to make an appointment or how they run their office hours. Next is some learning outcomes, required texts, which is something important to take note of. You always want to make sure you have your textbooks within the first 2 weeks of class. Some academic policies, AI policy, which is important to take note of as ChatGPT is becoming more used. And then this syllabus shows the formal essay assignments that you'll have throughout the semester. And then I think the grading breakdown is pretty important. So the grading breakdown shows how your final grade is calculated, and I always like to see which assignments are going to impact my grade the most. So pay close attention to these percentages at the end, and you'll see like this annotated bibliography, 8 to 10 pages is 20% of your grade. So you want to make sure that you are turning that in on time and not missing 20% of your grade. It's nice to always know your late work policy, the grading scale, and then this ethics and plagiarism you'll see in just about, should be in every syllabus. And then lastly, but arguably the most important section of your syllabus is your course schedule. So here you'll see what's due and when things are due. I recommend copy and pasting this into another doc and checking it weekly so nothing catches up on you. I also recommend adding all of these dates into your Google Calendar as soon as you get your syllabus, which I am going to show you how I do in the next video section. The first thing you're going to do is open up your syllabus for any one of your classes. This one, for example, is English 100. You're going to scroll through the syllabus until you find the section labeled weekly schedule, course schedule, or important dates, which is right here. Next, I'm just going to scroll through and sort of take note of some due dates. Weekly due dates, looks like there's some discussion posts due, and this professor has actually highlighted, looks like some of the more important due dates. So I just take note of that, look through it. And then next I'm going to open up my Google Calendar or whichever calendar or planner system that you like to use. And then I will put it in half screen with my syllabus. That way I can easily see both. So the first thing I like to do, is add a calendar for each class. So you push the little plus, create new calendar, and this one is going to be English 100. And you're going to create calendar and take a little bit, and then you can see all of my different calendars here, but I'm going to find English 100. And then here you can change the color and make it your favorite colors, or if you have a Pinterest color scheme you want to do yours, then here's where you can change that color. And you'll push save, and now you have that calendar. So I'm going to uncheck it, or I'll check it for now because we're going to be adding in due dates for this class. So, for example, I'm going to change the dates a little bit because it's January and this is for a fall class. So I'll do this 5-paragraph essay. Let's say it's due on Tuesday the 20th. So I'm going to go to Tuesday the 20th and click on just a box when it was due. Let's say 5 p.m. Put 5-paragraph essay due. And I know it's for English 100 because it's for this calendar, so I don't really need to specify that. And then down here, I'm going to change the calendar to English 100, which will automatically change the color as well. Then I'll push save. and you can see that due date show up there. So just to give you a little example of how it can look with multiple different classes or responsibilities, I'll go ahead and check some of my other stuff. So I have my GA work, my internship site, my clients right now, and then I have some friends and family. I have a friends and family calendar so I can make sure to allocate some time for rest and playing or doing fun things with my friends. So this is what it can look like with the different colors, and I find this is really helpful in keeping track of things and keeping things organized and just being able to really clearly see what I have to work on each day or what's coming up in the future. Another thing I like to do for big assignments is set myself reminders. So, for example, if we have our English paper due at 5 p.m. on Tuesday, I want to make sure that I have it done early by Sunday at the latest. So I'm going to set myself an alarm or a reminder the morning of Sunday. I tend to sleep in, so we'll do 10 a.m. And you switch to task instead of event here at the top. And I'm going to say paper due on Tuesday, exclamation points. And we'll just leave it at an hour because I know I'm going to see it. And then again, change it to, I want my task to be this color, so we'll do that. And then I can say, add a little description for myself, like must have at least 3 pages done by Tuesday. So it's a little goal I set for myself on Sunday. That way, if I don't have it at least done on Sunday, I am reminded that I'm gonna have at least 3 pages done, and I won't forget about it. So I set reminders for all sorts of things, usually a couple days before the actual due date, and sometimes even a week before. I'll show you another example of something I do for papers. Um, paper due next week. And then that gives me a whole week to kind of have it in the back of my mind and making sure that I don't forget it. By spending just a few minutes each week reviewing and planning in Google Calendar or whatever other calendar system you use, you create structure, you set yourself up for a more organized and less stressful week. And it can help free your schedule and free your mental mind for more enjoyable activities or hang out with friends and family. I hope this helps, and I hope you have a great spring semester. See you soon.